Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I don't know. But we're in March, aren't we? God, this calendar says February. So, I'm pre-recording this because I'm struggling to be allowed, even though I think I'm doing everything correct. Maybe I'm not, who knows, but I'm trying to do a live broadcast every day. YouTube sometimes carries it, sometimes doesn't, and then it doesn't pop up in people's feeds, and then it's either there or not there at certain points. I mean, it's just I think it's a constant struggle to raise your voice, and I think, well, this is what I believe. I think there's malicious intent. Ooh. Confucius, he say, man who take girl camping have evil intent. Now, I think there's malicious intent. Lots of broadcasters over the years, especially over the recent years, have found themselves blocked from public broadcast. And then we were given the tools. Hello. To public broadcast, and then we started talking truth to each other. And then certain people who were already trying to be entertaining and informative through their art and through their music, certain people were silenced. And a lot of them are built somewhat of a following and somewhat of a revenue stream that they could stay independent and support themselves. Then all of a sudden the magnanimous way in which we were told this is a social media suddenly became controlled media. Well, I say suddenly, gradually became controlled media, and then turned into propaganda. And some of us saw it coming, and that's great, but to be honest, there wasn't any way we could do anything else but witness it and then report upon it. And then where do we report it to? Each other, which becomes kind of like an echo chamber. And then we got labelled all sorts of things, for our beliefs. And yet the beliefs of a minority, of controlling people, say their truth is viable. This is all why we have conspiracy realists. Yeah, realists. Because everything is conspired upon and broadcast. And they're spelling a future that I'm not interested in. They're spelling out the future they want, which I don't really want. I don't really want a future where everything I see is controlled and manipulated by a ruling few billionaires who own everything. You see, the problem is ownership. These are free airwaves, Not many of you will remember very clearly, but the advent of the internet was like a magic gift to many independent thinkers and independent artists. It was like, oh my gosh, I can reach a wider audience without having to jump through the mill of the entertainment media giants that were around, that have now become the billionaire controllers of all our broadcasts. And you see the war going on right now. It's one conglomerate media, I don't know what you call it. I mean, it's an intentional chaos in the media, but it's all consuming, because they really do have like one goal. One real goal is to promote themselves through their owned media monopoly. And if you want to see consolidation of media monopoly, you should ride around an area that's not a particularly attractive area, but an area of Sun Valley or Sunland, where I live. Now, there are beautiful, and it's a wonderful nature preserve-ish kind of little community, little pocket community, and there are activists within it who are doing fun things and great things. But all around us are going up these monolithic studios. They are massive studio complexes, massive shooting studios for TV and film. But they're owned by the same corporate giants. And you're like, well, why do they need more when there's less and less being shot here? Well, with the experience I've had in my life, they're making them into artificial intelligence, computer generated studios where they can put a handful of people on that stage and then paint everything around them in a artificial intelligence way. And that way, the major studio complexes that support a great deal, or did support a great deal, of people who worked in the film industry for a very long time, they're being like eradicated. And the land that those corporate giants like Warner and Universal Studios and 20th Century Fox has got, there's so many of these studios, large studios, that are turning into theme parks. So they're going to turn the television studios, the film studios, everything into a theme park, and then they can tell you the story of the history of media and cinema and film and activism and music and art, and they can tell you that story through their portal that is being run by now a conglomerate, and decentralize the whole control system that they used to call Hollywood. But the thing is, Hollywood, you think they won't, but they would. They'll do anything to increase their market share as one entity that they're all billionaires are supporting, and then clamp out and gradually stamp out the independent artist. So there's no outlet anymore. I mean, the biggest film production company in the world happens to be Netflix. And this is not a critique of the work of the people that put the stuff in these distribution centers. This is not a critique, but just an observation on how the big fish is eating the little fish, and we're all going, yeah, that's a great outlet for us. We've got to be very aware of that which is being dangled in front of us. The carrot is dangling, and we're like, oh, well, yeah, I could make a full-length movie now just by typing in the words and letting AI do it.